Welcome to our probable last podcast of the year for the NBA playoffs. I'm Jake Villarreal. I'm a writer for Gigantea.
And my name is Lucas de Lima. I'm the managing editor of the Gigantea.
Hey, I'm Fabian Anguiano, and I'm a writer for the Gigantea.
And now we're going to go through all of the NBA playoffs in general, our predictions for the current conference finals, and we're also going to go through all of the playoff matchups that have been done already. And I'm going to let Lucas take over for our first matchups of the first
All right,
round.
so we'll start on the eastern side of the bracket. The number one seeded Cleveland Cavaliers swept the Miami Heat in 4 games. I remember this series being a blowout every single game. The Heat were the first 10 seed to qualify out of the play-in into the playoffs. So good for them to continue their season, but obviously there wasn't a match there for the Cavaliers. Which should bring up another conversation about if the play-in's really worth it, right? The Heat, I think, they won 37 games this season. They had a losing record. They make the playoffs. There were no match for the Cavaliers, who won 2 games home and easily won 2 games away in Miami. So the Cavs made light work of the Heat.
Yeah, forgettable.
Yeah, I honestly forgot about that, to be honest. No.
Let's go to the next one.
Next one was a slightly better series. We had the number 4 seed Indiana Pacers beating the number 5 seed Milwaukee Bucks in 5 games. This was definitely was supposed to be a closer series. Giannis couldn't carry the Bucks on his back enough. That supporting cast definitely did not help him. And the Pacers and their efficient offense gave them the series win.
Yeah, I expected the series to be a little bit closer, like you could say that, but Giannis gone. That's just my personal take. I think that Giannis is definitely going to be looking for something in the offseason, and if he doesn't find that, then he's gone.
Yeah, honestly, Milwaukee's kind of been underperforming. I can't really expect much from them without Giannis, so they should start praying about what they're going to do next.
Yeah, I think they've exited in the first round every year since their NBA championship back in 2021.
2021.
When they beat the Suns in 6 games.
Yeah.
That was a great finals. Continuing the Eastern Conference, the number 3 seed New York Knicks beat the Detroit Pistons in 6 games. I remember that there was a lot of controversy in this series. I think it was Game 4 where Jalen Brunson hit that shot.
Yeah.
And then, what's his name, got fouled for the Pistons and then they called a foul. Knicks ended up winning that game. They ended up winning the series in 6 games. If that series went to 7 games, Pistons fans would point back to that no-call foul, and then we'd have a whole other separate issue on our hand. But since Jalen Brunson won the series in 6 games, I think the Knicks still deserve to win the series.
Yeah, I genuinely think that this wouldn't even have been mad if the Pistons won the series in 7, because that was honestly, I'm not going to say that was their only option to win, but that I didn't see them truly keeping up with the Knicks team, and I do agree that I think that it definitely should have gone to 7 games, but yeah, I do. The Pistons have a bright future, and I do think that they'll be back in the playoffs.
True.
I do think they'll be back in the playoffs next year.
Right, they got their first playoff win, I think, since 2008, something like that. It's been a while since they've been having any postseason success, so good for the Pistons.
Yes.
I think their fans should still be happy with their season.
Yes.
Yeah, if I'm a fan, I'm really happy. You went from having the worst record almost of all time last year to making the playoffs. So if I'm a Piston fan, I'm really excited for the following years to come.
Continuing the Eastern Conference, the number 2 seeded Boston Celtics beat the Orlando Magic in 5 games. Orlando kind of put up a fight. They lost a couple leads.
Yeah.
But the Celtics are just a stronger team, more experienced. Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown pushed them to the series win.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of the Magic in general. I like Paolo Banchero. I think he's a really good player. I do think that he has potential to be a top 5 player, but right now he's just too inexperienced to be able to lead his team to a playoff win, especially considering last year when they lost to the Cavaliers.
Yeah, honestly, Boston is just a much more experienced team. They've seen the light a lot more than them, so it makes sense why they won in such a convincing fashion.
All right. And this set up the second round matchup of the Cleveland Cavaliers, number 1 seed, losing to the Indiana Pacers in the second round in 5 games. Indiana took hold of the series. I think they won the first 2 games away, and that really put the Cavaliers on their back. They got that Game 3 win. But, the Pacers showed that they mean business, that last year's Eastern Conference Finals run wasn't a fluke, and they beat the best team in the East on their court.
Yeah, I do think that I did not expect the Pacers to actually win this series. I did genuinely have the Cavaliers winning this one, but I guess I was proven wrong again because Tyrese Halliburton was making plays. He had the team on his back. He absolutely dominated. And I agree with the fact that they definitely have that championship DNA, and I think they do have what it takes to win a championship.
I think this has to do with inexperience because they haven't really been great the recent years. Also, you went from like one of the worst teams to like a very great team, so I think they were just kind of underlooking them.
But like a great team.
Yeah, two great teams.
Yeah, they had that really hot start.
Yeah.
Was it 17-0, 18-0?
Yeah.
Before they took their first loss. And whenever teams start like that, it usually doesn't mean postseason success. It means a lot of regular season success, right? Because they won the.
This isn't 2017.
Exactly. They got the first seed, but it didn't translate to postseason success. We saw that happen in MLB too, right? The Rays started 11-0 a couple years ago, and they did nothing in the playoffs.
Yeah.
So hot starts don't always end up for good finishes.
Yes.
In the other semifinal matchup, we had the New York Knicks, 3 seed, beating the Boston Celtics, the number 2 seed, in 6 games. This was huge. This led the Knicks to their first Eastern Conference Finals appearance since the year 2000, since the millennium. Big series win for the Knicks. They show that they can beat the defending champions, that they can beat the upper tier, the elite teams in the NBA. Big for the Knicks.
Yes. This was a great series, but I do think that they did give the Celtics a little bit pity since Jason Tatum tore his Achilles. That was bad. That just basically let it all go from there, and they let them win I think it was Game 5, and then they just
in Boston. Then they won
in Boston,
at home.
so I think just went at home.
They won at home, Game 6. Yeah.
Yes, by like 25. So
yeah, that
it was an interesting series, despite only going to 6 games.
Yeah, no one gave New York a chance before this. I've seen every analyst, they didn't give them a chance. So I think this is great because they're riding with a lot of momentum in this playoffs, and maybe they can even win it all.
All right. We'll go over to the Western Conference first round. Then we'll do the semifinals there too.
Yes.
First matchup in the Western Conference was the number 1 seed Oklahoma City Thunder sweeping the number 8 seed Memphis Grizzlies. Another forgettable series. John Morant did have that hip contusion injury in Game 3 when he had that super hard foul. That guy loves to jump. He's a legend. He's an athlete. But it led to that injury, and then it was a sweep for the Thunder. I think the most lopsided series in NBA history. Not much to say.
Yeah, but it was honestly like where you were tuning in, but like for the wrong reasons, because like John Morant said something about, like, he said something, and then they ended up losing by like 40. I think I was in Game 1 or Game 2.
Yeah, they said he said that this will never happen again.
And then they ended up getting swept. That's bad. But it just wasn't it. And this Oklahoma City team is too good.
Yes.
I think that John Morant injury really was a nail in the coffin for them. So I don't think they can get any more success. To be honest.
Yeah. Next matchup we have was the number 4 seed Denver Nuggets beating the number 5 seed LA Clippers in 7 games. This was a super tight series, probably the best series of the first round. Won the full 7 games. Home team won every single matchup in this series, I'm pretty sure. Actually, no. We had a couple away games, I think 2 and 4. Went 7 games, and the Nuggets won handedly in Game 7. James Harden put in a good performance there. Kawhi Leonard was underwhelming too, I remember. And the Nuggets 2 years ago were champions. We went on to the second round by beating the Clippers in 7 games.
This has been like a reoccurring theme of losing to the Nuggets in the first round. Like, I'm not even kidding about that. And I do think this clip. It's been like 3 years straight first round exits, or like 2 years straight.
Sounds about right. Yeah.
Yes, and with how much money Steve Ballmer's putting into the team, it's not translating into playoff wins. I'm not sure where they can go from here, especially with Harden and Kawhi getting older, and Kawhi possibly not even wanting to play anymore. So, yeah.
I honestly thought the Clippers would win this series, to be honest. But like they said, the curse of James Harden in Game 7, I didn't think that was real. But it turned out to be true, and it just continues.
Yeah, it turned out to be true. Like his stat line was what? Like, I want to say barely even over like 15, and Kawhi didn't even do much better either. So it was just all bad in Game 7.
Poor Clippers. Another LA team to lose in the first round was my beloved Los Angeles Lakers, who were the number 3 seed, and they lost to the number 6 seed Minnesota Timberwolves in 5 games.
I'm gonna let you take center stage for this.
Yeah, so it's mostly disappointment, right? The hope in LA was through the roof when we got Luka. We had all the analysts, all the fans were saying, championship run, championship run. You got Luka Doncic, an amazing scorer with LeBron James, arguably the greatest player of all time. That is on paper, right? On paper.
On paper.
Championship run.
That's a championship run. You got a championship doable starting five. But the problem with the Lakers was we had a lack of depth, right? You had Gabe Vincent in Game 5 scoring 0 points in 26 minutes. You can't have that. And on the other side, you have Nickeil Alexander-Walker, who is just, he comes off the bench, does his job, hits a couple threes, and goes back. The Lakers had no depth. They had no defense either, right?
No defense.
You had Luka
you
put
let,
up.
you let Rudy Gobert score 30 points on you, and he wasn't... And,
Exactly. No
and he,
center.
And he was, no center.
You had Luka dropping 38 in Game 5, we still lose. You had LeBron dropping 38 in Game 4, you still lose. So the offense was there, defense was not. Lakers lose.
Yeah.
To next season.
Literally, if the Lakers had a center, I honestly think they would have won. I'm not even kidding.
Goes back to that Mark Williams trade. That
I'm not even kidding when I say that. I think that the Lakers genuinely would have won. Would have won.
Would have stopped
At
Rudy
least
Gobert.
literally with just center. You can't let Rudy Gobert drop.
He's not an offensive player. He's not an offensive player. He's a defensive
Drop
guy.
30 points on you in what? Get in the game you got eliminated in at home, and they weren't even wearing the shirts either. Like that's just embarrassing. It was embarrassing.
Honestly, Lakers need to stop depending on like Luka and LeBron because that's what they're doing. They need to.
Oh yeah, Braun's what 41 for 40, or about to be 42, and you just can't do that. You need more depth in your lineup if you want to. You already have someone who can replace LeBron. What are you gonna do when there's no other positions?
This offseason will be very interesting for the
Yes.
Lakers. The last final first round matchup we have is the number 7 Golden State Warriors, technically upsetting the number 2 seed Houston Rockets in 7 games. I think this is a classic matchup of experience versus inexperience, and the Warriors' experience won out. Golden State was up 3-1. They let the Rockets win 2 games, but Game 7, even away, Warriors took care of business on the road. And they showed the Rockets and Jalen Green, Alperen Sengun, and the whole young Rockets team what it means to be successful in the playoffs.
Yeah.
The Warriors win.
Yeah, but the Warriors just own the Rockets in general ever since Curry decided to, ever since the early dynasty days back in like 2015. So they've been owned for around like 8 years at this point.
About a decade now.
Yeah, about a decade. And it was just experience versus inexperience. I think the Rockets team has a bright future as well. Just the Warriors are just too mature, and they're just the more playoff experienced team, and they took care of business.
Like both of y'all said, it just has to do with inexperience. I feel like just give the Rockets like maybe 2 more years to develop, and they can get used to the heat, and they can really be successful.
Yep. Second round matchup in the Western Conference, we had the number 1 seed Oklahoma City Thunder beating number 4 seed Denver Nuggets in 7 games. This one also went 7. Thunder went at home on their home court, Game 7, and that was 7 game series for the Nuggets. They win the first one against the Clippers. They lose the second one against the Thunder. You can't say experience over inexperience in this one because the Thunder were just a better team, even though you don't have that recent playoff success, and the Thunder do, and the Nuggets do. The Thunder come through and they win the series in 7 games.
Yes, this was honestly my second favorite playoff series. It was very exciting. Jokic was dropping master classes. I mean, honestly, he was the one doing everything for the Nuggets because you saw that shot that he threw just over his head.
Insane. How he has the confidence to hit those shots. That's pure entertainment.
Yeah,
right
your man. That is you have a man like that on your team, and you have to go take this Thunder team to 7 games. If you're not, then what are you doing?
Yeah.
And I just think they were just not the better team, and the Thunder were. So yeah.
Yeah, Thunder just a better team. I was looking really forward to the series. 2 heavyweights, and they got knocked out.
Yeah. Reminder that Nikola Jokic dropped 44 points, 15 assists, 15 rebounds, and 5 assists in Game 5, and the Thunder still lost. And the Nuggets still lost the game by 7 points.
Yeah.
So Jokic was doing everything for the Nuggets, and the Thunder still won.
Yes.
So he's fine though. He's in Serbia right now. He's chilling. In the other second round matchup in the Western Conference, we had the number 6 seed Minnesota Timberwolves beating the number 7 seed Golden State Warriors in 5 games. Minnesota showed through. Curry had that injury right in Game 1. Didn't play the rest of the series.
The Warriors would have won if Curry hadn't get injured.
You can make that argument, absolutely.
I'm absolutely making that argument.
So the Timberwolves took their business without Curry, and then move on to the conference finals.
I'm gonna say right now, Curry. If Curry did not get injured, in what Game 3?
It was Game 1. It was Game 1.
Game 1.
Yeah.
Then the Warriors would have won in 7 games. I'm not even kidding. They were actually doing good with Curry, and won by. They were able to handle business with Curry, and it wouldn't have even mattered for the Warriors if Curry was out, and they were just absolutely outmatched in the rest of the games. You could just tell that the offense was just lost without Curry at the helm, and yeah.
Yeah, there's nothing like playoff Stephen Curry. He always just goes off. He always shows up, so they could have won this series if he would have been healthy.
Yeah, but the
Time
Timberwolves
goes by.
advance. And that gives us the Western Conference Finals match, which is currently ongoing. We have the number 1 seed Oklahoma City Thunder against the number 6 seed Minnesota Timberwolves. The Thunder currently lead the series 3-1 after their close game win in Minnesota last night. I think the Thunder finish the series out. They probably win in 5 games at home tomorrow on Wednesday, and they'll make the finals. That's my prediction.
Yeah. I do agree with the Thunder. Gonna win. They play on Wednesday. Or
They play tomorrow, yes.
Yes, they play tomorrow. I do think that the
Game
Thunder.
5
Yeah,
in
I do
Oklahoma
think the Thunder are gonna win tomorrow in their home court, and it was just outmatched. And you can't have Anthony Edwards dropping 19 in game 4, and you're down 2-1, and you're at home, and that's just inexcusable. And yeah, it's not. Just say that on Wednesday it's not gonna look good for the Timberwolves.
Yeah, I hate to say it, but I have the Thunder. I really don't want them to win. I want to see.
No, I
Ammon-
want the Wolves.
I really wanted
Even
them
though
to
they beat the
win.
Lakers.
I want to see Ammon in the finals, but it's looking really bad. Really bad.
So one half of my dream finals is probably looking very unlikely,
Yes.
but the other half of my dream finals is looking
Maybe.
more likely.
Maybe.
In the Eastern Conference, currently we have the number 4 seeded Indiana Pacers up 2-1 over the number 3 seed New York Knicks. Game 4 is tonight in Indiana. The Knicks won Game 3 after losing 2 straight games at home in Games 1 and 2. The Knicks are still in this series. If they win tonight, everything changes. They go back home to MSG, to Madison Square Garden. In Game 5, New York would be electric. And
Yes.
yeah, come on,
Yes.
Knicks.
Yes, I do think the Knicks are gonna win tonight. I really want them
In
to
Indiana.
win. I do think they get the win tonight. I'm gonna say 131 to 125.
High scoring game.
Yes, very very high scoring game again. And if they don't, let's call it wraps from there. But Cat went off in game in game 3. He had 20 points in the fourth quarter, I believe, and yeah, it was just a superstar performance. He came through when it mattered, and they get the win, and they put themselves in a position to win today and go back home hoping to advance to the finals.
New York needs to win this game, or else, in my opinion, it's over. All of these games have came to mistakes in the final seconds, so they need to force the Pacers to make mistakes and outmatch them, and they can win this series very convincingly.
Yes.
Absolutely. So for my NBA Finals prediction, I think the Thunder see it out against the Timberwolves. They'll make the finals. I think the Pacers win tonight, but the Knicks win Game 5 at home, and then the Pacers finish the series on Game 6 on their court. So I think that the Pacers will end up winning the conference finals in 6 games, which means we'd have Pacers Thunder in the final. And I'm going to go with the Thunder in, I'll say, 6 games. They are on a hot run right now. I mean, most lopsided series win in NBA history against the Grizzlies. They got good vibes, right? Everyone's getting action, right? Chet Holmgren's playing well. Jalen Williams is playing well. The other Jalen Williams is playing well. Of course, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, literally the NBA MVP this season. I think the Thunder are your 2025 NBA champions.
I'm gonna highly disagree with you on the Pacers and Knicks series.
Okay.
I think that the Knicks win in 7 games.
I would love to see that.
I do think they win in 7 games. I think they're gonna win tonight, and then they take it all the way to 7. They win, and I do have the Thunder winning tomorrow, and I do think it's gonna be a Knicks Thunder final. But I gotta go with the Thunder in 6 games over the Knicks if that really does happen. And as much as I hate saying that, but the Thunder are just too good. I think that I think this is another step towards a championship. Step towards the next year for the Knicks and their good core with Jalen Brunson. But I do think that I think it's gonna be a Thunder in 6.
I have OKC making the finals, and I have the Knicks coming back. And I have the Knicks in 7 in an absolute
Game.
It's gonna be like old school
In
street
OKC.
ball. Classic. Yeah, OKC has the weapons, but the Knicks have the heart. All you need is heart, and you can win anything.
Go New York, go New York,
Go
go.
New York.
Yes,
Go to New
yes,
York.
absolutely.
Come on. So that was our 2025 NBA Playoffs podcast. Thank you for watching. Be sure to read all of our articles in the sports section of Gigantea. Be on the lookout for our senior print edition, which will be distributed on graduation day. Thank you for listening, and catch you in the next one. Thank you.
If there is a next one.
Good work, boys.
My intro was so fire.
That was good. Not bad. Learning for next year.
Yeah.